Salutations, kindred souls. Welcome to another episode of Lux Martin Enlightenment. I'm Lux, and on this channel we talk about how wisdom, healing, and integration are the tools to your path to your own enlightenment. Today is going to be just a short episode that's meant to be more of a check-in for both myself and my listeners, in which I would ask us, are you balancing divinely inspired action for growth, healing, expansion, all of the things that you're pursuing, with balancing acceptance and appreciation for letting your light be enough? Acceptance for who you are right now and appreciating and observing the value in what that is right now in this red hot moment. I feel like I'm being very called to observe that in myself right now, especially when taking notice of my twin flame journey, as well as the continual balance of I am a person that is a striver, a doer, an achiever. My channel is about growth, expansion, healing, all of the things that make you a better you, with the balance of acceptance for the beauty of which I already are in every now moment, observing an awareness of the presence of what you are, what you do in the now moment. So we're going to use this little belief system building right here and its observation to do a check-in for each other. Yeah. So we're going to start by observing the guardrails of this polarity, of this balance of the duality that we're trying to balance between desire, pursuit for growth, expansion, healing, and acceptance and appreciation and gratitude. Yeah. But first, we would need to examine the two guardrails of what I would consider to be the toxic extremes, because in my opinion or my experience, neither guardrail is 100% well or factual or sustainable. So first, we're going to look at the guardrail of chasing, pursuing, grinding, working at the cost of now, at the cost of joy and appreciation for now. Being the kind of person that hustles to the point of wearing yourself down, of chasing something, whether it's something for yourself, a state of being in yourself, an achievement, an end result, at the cost of what the journey did for you, at the cost of who you were becoming on the way. To me, that we all need a little bit of grit and perseverance and grind and hustle in our life, and we all need to know when and where to use it. But I grew up in a situation where I often forgot who I was in the meantime because I was so focused on the destination or what I was trying to achieve, survive, accomplish, whatever be, that I failed to notice all of the beautiful lessons and chapters and moments of gratitude and appreciation on the way. Something that I'd like to point out right here too, one of my favorite pastors, one of my favorite things he ever said was, many of Jesus's miracles happened on the way to somewhere big. You know, the beauty, the more powerful moment was in the on the way rather than the end result he was trying to get to. So yeah, in noticing that toxic guardrail of hustle, culture, pursuit, desire, chase at the cost of the now moment and the appreciation you can find in the becoming. Then there's the other toxic extreme of I am perfect as I am, to the detriment of expansion. There is no expansion, there's stagnation. There is also this voice out there in the world that's saying, you don't need to do anything. You are perfect as is. And while there is a piece of that is true because of who you are, your soul in a human body, your connection with divinity, all of the good things of why that part of that is true, when we use that as a reason to not have desires, to not have expansion or pursuit or a need to go after anything, it creates a stagnation in ourselves and in our lives that can then be poisonous to us, to our growth, what our soul came here to do, as well as just practical life living in this human 3D life of people that don't tend to want anything or want to get anything or do anything, tend to be dissatisfied to a certain point of life, whether they would admit it or not. So in understanding that these are the guardrails that we're trying not to bounce off of, because neither are really sustainable or workable or long lasting in a enjoyable, healthy human existence. Let's try to shift our focus on staying in the middle of the road, yeah? And understanding that the management of the balance of those two belief systems is going to build us a new belief system that being is what you're here to do. That to me is true. Being a soul being in a human carcass doing this 3D life, your existence, your being is what you're here to do. And so, in your pursuit of that, you are making waves, making progress, making expansion in all the good ways, regardless of how well or poorly you thrash around and you're doing it. But there's that balance between, well, what do I want to do? What do I want to do with this life? Where do I want to go? How do I want to grow? Versus accepting and noticing that your being is enough. Your being, you're living this life is doing something. And so there's that appreciation for that. And that's where I call us to check in as often as possible with, are you noticing and are you aware with who you are now, what you are now, and that it is beautiful right now. And it is, to me, what I'm being called to observe right now is that the noticing of yourself and your light in this now moment, the observation of it, is a lesson and improvement in itself, an expansion in itself. The ability to notice and the ability to notice and observe and appreciate you, your light, how you shine, who you are in this now moment is a lesson, is an expansion in itself. So now I'd like to peel this back into a little bit of a more spiritual layer, in the fact that I'd like to call out or point out that your inner light doesn't need continual validation or continual polishing. As much as I might like to believe that, or that my channel is calling you and encouraging you to do that, what I'm asking us to check in with is, are we making an agenda out of our destiny? Are we making the need for constant polishing of our light or improvement or expansion or pursuit of enlightenment an agenda that now we have to work towards? In a sense that, here's the way deeper layer that I've been asked to peel back lately. In a sense that, what if I stop? What if I take a break? What if I need a minute to stop pursuing growth and expansion and just be? Will I mess it up? Will I miss something? Will I miss out on something? So in this building, this belief system that being is what we're here to do, we have to ask ourselves, I'm being called to ask myself, if I accept who I am right now, I give myself a rest, a pause from this continual pursuit of growth and expansion, will I miss something for me? Will I mess it up? Will I make a mistake that will detriment the end result progress that my soul came here to do? I've built enough of a relationship with my God, my relationship to divinity, to believe that that's not true. The answer to that question is no, in my experience. So maybe that's the question that you needed to hear today from me. Do you fundamentally believe that in your resting or pausing or stopping to appreciate who you are, where you are now, the light you emanate now, regardless of how awake, conscious, not so conscious you are, can you appreciate that now long enough without fear that if you stop moving, if you stop progressing for a minute in your observance of now, that you will miss out on something? My answer to that to myself is no, that's not possible. Because I have a relationship with divinity and with myself and with who I came here to be and what I want to be, that existence of that relationship in itself is pursuit enough, and is the recognition that I cannot miss what is for me. And I believe that for you as well. And in a very practical, real life sense, in sharing with you and being vulnerable with you, I'm asked to, in my own life, observe that in my daily life as well as my twin flame relationship, about how at this moment in time, acceptance and surrender is more important than ever. Striving to be a divine feminine, striving to be union, striving to be the embodiment, harder, pursuing it harder because I feel like I'm not there yet, isn't going to get me there faster. It's just not. I'm being called to accept what is right now, even if it's disappointing, even if it's not so fun, even if it's not where I wanted to be, or I'm observing things about myself that maybe I feel like took a step back or a backslide or a wave in this pursuit of all of these things of divine femininity. I am being called to accept that it is what it is right now, and I am what I am right now. And although I could give myself a little pull up by the bootstraps and say, get back in there and do it harder and embody it harder and don't wobble, okay? Get there and stay there. There is a level of hustle in that takes out the appreciation and the gratitude for the light I am shining now. And so again, that is my question to the both of us is, are you able to balance divinely inspired expansion, devotion to who you are and what you want to become, with awareness and observance for who you are and what you shine right now? And so in this twin flame pursuit that I am always aware of, always aware of what the end result is, being both who I am and who I want to become, as well as, the understanding that union with a counterpart hopefully is a thing. There's that balance of, it's not about the end result, it's about acknowledging what's here right now, even if not all of it looks so lovely. But in that noticing and observation, there is not only a lesson, but the ability to appreciate and balance pursuit with gratitude. Yeah. As well as balancing your inner masculine and feminine, your inner balance of pursuit versus softening. Pursuit versus softening. Yeah, that's a very good way to put it, that both masculines and feminines can be in an observation of am I checking in with my balance of strife versus softness, versus pursuit and chasing versus acceptance. Yeah. So again, this is meant to be a short one. So in closing, what I'm asking us to do is shift our lens right now and take a check-in with self, and understanding that progress is not always measurable, and it's not always going to come in moments of pursuit. Sometimes it's the subtle shift in attitude, the quiet pause, the small act of noticing that counts more than a strife forward or a monumental, game-changing inner shift. Gratitude for the now form is an acknowledgement that your light not only continues to always be sufficient, but it is a beautiful continual unfolding, and that your being, your light, being sufficient in this every now moment, your being is what you're here to do. And that in itself is beautiful. Your light is enough right now. The final check-in question is, do you see you? Do I see me? Because in my observation of me, in my reflection upon my self-awareness of who I am and what I emit right now, that will then be more greatly reflected back to me by those around me. All things, again, the mirroring concept. But sometimes, in order to understand what's being mirrored back to us, we need to stop and ask, do I see me? Do I see me? Regardless of what else is being reflected back around me, do I see me for who I am, what I emit, the light I am, the soul I am in this red hot moment now? And that is enough, regardless of what I am pursuing, regardless of where I am on the way to. Yeah? So I hope this little check-in episode was not only a hug for somebody of like, hey, you're okay, you got this, you're doing great, and it's okay right now, but are you balancing and are you checking in with inspired action and softness and acceptance and balance? Yeah. So I hope that was helpful today. Keep seeking, keep softening, keep showing up. Remember, the light you're looking for is the light you already are. Take care.